How to Write a Great American Novel by Alison Tsoi. Once there was a girl named Alison, much like you yourself, with dreams of writing a great American novel. She would slave away at her computer every night for a year, trying to come up with a story that would captivate Americans for centuries. She realized there was no hope in writing a great American novel and decided to give up. That was until a fairy godmother appeared.
Do you need help?
Who are you?
Why, I'm your fairy godmother, and I'm here to teach you how to write a great American novel.
But I can't write anything great, or even American.
Someone wise once told me, there comes a time when you either want to burn it or flush it, but if you keep going, you know that's what makes you a writer instead of I wish I was a writer. Her name was Octavia Butler, and in order to write a great American novel, first you need to read a great American novel.
And with that, the fairy godmother handed Alison The Parable of the Sower by Octavia Butler and told her to read it cover to cover. Alison read non-stop. However, she seemed to have been falling asleep shortly after finishing the novel and dreamt of what it must be like to write such a great American novel.
What's this?
She picked up the note. It read, "Belief initiates and guides action, or it does nothing. Earthseed, the Book of the Living. The first step to writing your great American novel is pie."
Earthseed? Pie? What could that possibly mean?
A new clue appeared.
Pie stands for passion, imagination, inspiration, and experience.
Alison also remembered that Earthseed was from the book Parable of the Sower and was the new religion that Lauren was creating.
What does that have to do with writing a great American novel? Guess I'm about to find out.
Alison walked down the hallway and found another clue. Earthseed is all that spreads earth life to the new earth. Earthseed, the books of the living. In order to even begin writing, you must have the passion for writing. Take Octavia Butler. Ever since she was 10, she knew she was going to be a writer. She loved reading science fiction and loved writing down all her stories. Even when she found out she was dyslexic, nothing could stop her from becoming a writer. Do you have the passion for writing? The real thing that I'm missing is a formal education. Miss Butler, she attended Pasadena University, California State University, and the University of California, Los Angeles. I haven't even graduated high school.
That is where you're wrong. Miss Butler credits all her writing success to workshops, which include the Open Door program of Screenwriters Guild of America and the Clarion Science Fiction Writers Workshop. These workshops were built for African American women, like Butler, to start their writing careers, not those fancy, dancy schools. So once you learn the tools you need, you might wish to indulge in a writing workshop of your own.
What was that voice? It must just be inside my head. Let's go find the next clue.
Suddenly, Alison heard the voice once more.
Imagination and inspiration. Once you find your inspiration, you can use your imagination to tell an amazing story. Miss Butler once said, "Writers use everything. We can't help it. Whatever touches us touches our writing." So, if you want to be a writer, then read other novels, newspapers, and magazines. Anything you deeply care for, because inspiration can strike anywhere.
After finding some inspiration, Alison went out to find the third clue. Any change may bear seeds of benefit. Seek them out. Any change may bear seeds of harm. Beware. E. Experience. You must experience your own adventures before you are able to write about another adventure. These adventures can be anything from the hardships in your life to going on vacation. Octavia Butler, how she was raised by a single mother in almost poverty and had to face many segregation issues because she was African American. That also connects with Parable of the Sower. In the novel, Lauren Olamina deals with experiences almost identical. Her mother died when she was born and was raised only by her father until he remarried. Lauren also, although lives in the year 2025, lives in poverty and deals with many segregational issues. Wow, I never really realized the similarities.
So what's after pie? Cake?
No, now it's time to dive into the beginning of a novel, or the fourth clue. When no influence is strong enough to unify people, they divide. Or until one of them becomes a leader, most will follow, or a tyrant, most will fear. Earthseed, the books of the living. First,
First, you need a protagonist, a hero, someone to bring light into the darkened situation. Describe something about Lauren.
Well, she wants to be a survivor. She knows that the town is going to be destroyed and wants to learn everything she can do in order to survive. She's an activist, always one to do things instead of sitting around and waiting like everyone else. She creates her own religion when God fails her, called Earthseed, her own idea of a utopian community for which everyone helps each other and can trust each other. Lastly, she has hyperempathy syndrome, which means she feels the pain and pleasures of everyone around her, which I guess could be her greatest weakness.
Lauren is someone who is knowledgeable and aware of her surroundings, a visionary and a leader of a new religion. But she is not perfect because she has a weakness. She is a strong protagonist and someone who my character should emulate.
No, not exactly. Every person is unique and different, but you have to remember that no one is perfect. All humans have flaws. So if you were to make a hero someone who would be your ideal self, remember that nobody is perfect if they're human.
Wow, that was some great advice. But where should I put my flawed hero?
Alison must decide and figure out when and where her character may go, and then she must find out the social environment they are surrounded with.
There is no end to what a living world will demand of you. Earthseed, the books of the living. Think of when and where Lauren is. Lauren lives in the near future, in the year 2025, where the U.S. has become a third world country and has to deal with many racial, economic, and societal issues. Lauren is very much influenced by her cultural and environmental surroundings.
For example, Lauren and her family are still denied many opportunities because they are African American. Also, there's not enough water in the world for drinking.
But how does that relate to me? I haven't had any dramatic experience.
She must realize that her novel need not be a carbon copy of the world she knows, and must decide how the culture of her version of America influences her character.
God is changing, forever uniting, growing, dissolving, forever changing. The universe is God's self-portrait. You need a theme that can encapsulate American issues and leave people with something to think about. Think of the parable of the sower.
In the parable of the sower, one of the themes prominent throughout the novel is freedom. Lauren is trapped in her gated town, however, outside is a death sentence. It isn't until she is forced to face the outside world because her town is set on fire that she escapes to her freedom. She decides to travel north to Canada in hopes of getting a job that actually pays money and where water prices are reasonable.
The theme of freedom is a strong idea in many American novels because our country was born on the ideas of being free.
Suddenly awoken.
What just happened? Did I just learn how to write a great American novel? Congratulations, Allison. Tell me what you learned.
I learned that even before I begin writing, I need to have passion, inspiration, and experiences, and from there I can let my imagination take over. Then I learned that once I start to write, I'm going to need a strong main character, and even though they are strong, they are still human and still have weaknesses. Also, I realized that when and where my character is going to live have a huge impact on who they are and what they act like. Lastly, I learned that in order to earn the title Great American Novel, it should have a theme that encompasses something truly American. All that you touch, you change. All that you change, changes you. The only lasting truth is change. God is change. Earthseed, the books of the living.